Hello students, as in this lecture we're gonna see the exercise number 1.3 from the chapter number 1 partition value, as we had completed the first and the second exercise. The third exercise, it is based on the graphical method, where you will see how to plot the graph for quartiles, deciles as well as for percentile. So when I say graphical method, in graphical method there are many types of graph, as already you had seen in your lower standard. Subdivided, joint bar graph, then frequency polygon, histogram. This all types of the graph, I guess you all might be knowing, you all had studied in your lower standard. But here in your 11th standard, in exercise number 1.3, there is one more types of graph which is known as ogive. Ogive, which is known as what? Ogive. Which is known as what? Ogive. In ogive also there are two types of sum. One sum it is based on less than ogive, and one sum it is based on more than ogive. Okay, so your exercise number 1.3 whole and whole, I guess there are 8 to 10 sums in the exercise. Each and every sum it is based on ogive less than type. More than it is not there in your syllabus. Maybe it will be there in your higher standard, but in 11th standard it is not there. So your first 1.3 exercise, each and every sum actually it is based on less than ogive. So first we'll see the concept based on ogive, what exactly we have to do whenever we can come across the graphical method based on ogive, and how to show the deciles, quartiles and percentile answer graphically, and how to find the answer we'll see through graphically. Okay, so this is the sum. You will have the sum in this pattern. You will have marks, number of student. As we all know that your first row indicate what? It is class, and the second row indicate what? It is the frequency. So you will have class and frequency for each and every sum, and in each and every sum what will be the change? The change will be this part. Sometimes they will say just simply find quartile, sometimes they will say simply you find percentile. Okay, so but here we'll take one example. Okay, as this is the question number 1 of your exercise number 1.3 only. Okay, so as now we have to find d6, q1 and p65. So we'll take one example and we'll see all the values. Okay, like we'll see deciles also, how to find the answer for deciles graphically, how to find the answer for quartiles graphically, and how to find the answer for percentiles graphically. Okay, but before that we'll see the concept based on the ogive. Okay, so the first thing is what? The first step is what? You have to draw the table, and the table it is with respect to the class and frequency. Of course you will have the class and frequency in the question. Okay, with respect to that you have to increase some more columns. Like in the first one it will be class, in the second one it will be frequency, in the third one you will write upper class boundary. Upper class boundary. In the fourth column you will write cumulative frequency less than. I hope you all might be knowing how to find the cumulative frequency less than. And in the last column you will write the coordinate. So upper class boundary you will consider as x, and cumulative less than frequency you will consider as y. So this will be your x coordinate and this will be your y coordinate. Okay, so your first step will be what? You have to prepare the table with respect to class and frequency. See to it that you have to increase some column. Okay, so here you will increase upper class boundary and cumulative frequency less than. The last column actually it is not compulsory. If you increase this column also it's okay, no problem. Okay, still you will get full marks. Okay, now after this the second part is what? You have to draw the graph. So you have to plot the graph, and see to that you have to consider only the first quadrant. Whenever you will draw the graph, only the first quadrant you will take. This is what we all know, that this is x-axis, this is x dash, this is y, and this is y dash. Okay, in graph we all know that there are small line like this, then there is slight line, then line, then line. Okay, so this two dark line, it is your 1 centimeter. Okay, it is your 1 centimeter. I hope you all might be knowing this all things from year to year. Okay, from year to year, it is what, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. Okay, so these are the 1 centimeter. So on the x-axis, what numbers you will consider? On the x-axis, you have to consider the upper class boundary number. Upper class boundary number. On the y-axis, you will consider the cumulative frequency less than number. So on the x-axis, you will consider the upper class boundary number, whatever the number here you will have, with respect to the proper scale. And the scale, it is on you. You can consider any number, like 1 centimeter equals to 5 units, 10 units, 15 units. It is on you. Okay, it's not compulsory that if I tell you for the particular question that you have to consider 1 centimeter equals to 5 units, you have to take only 5. You can take 5, 10, 15. It is on you. Okay, so you have to take the proper scale and see to that. If here you take 1 centimeter, so on the y-axis also you consider 1 centimeter only. Don't consider like this, on x-axis 1 and on the y-axis 2 centimeter. If here you consider 1 centimeter equals to so and so number, so here on y-axis also you consider 1 centimeter only. Okay, so this is a point. And we all know that whenever the class, it does not start from 0. Suppose the class, it is starting from 200, 300, like 200 to 250. Okay, then 300 to 400, like that. Okay, if the class, it is not closer to 0, or it is not starting from 200. Okay, so see to that, you have to draw the symbol. So this symbol is known as what? Kring symbol. This symbol is known as what? Kring symbol. I hope you all might be knowing why we used to draw this Kring symbol. So basically, remember this, when you have to draw this Kring symbol, whenever the class is starting from like 200. Okay, means it is not closer to 0. It is not closer to 0. Like here for this first example, as the question starting from where, 15. So 15, it is closer to 0 only, yes or no? 15 is closer to 0. So there is no need to draw this Kring symbol. There is no need to draw this Kring symbol. But there are many sums in the exercise where you will see it is starting from 200, 200, 300, 400. So that time just you have to show the Kring symbol. Okay, remember this 2 point, when to draw the Kring symbol and when to not. Okay, when it is closer to 0, no need to show this Kring symbol. Okay, then after that, third point, it is very important. You will plot the point with respect to x and y coordinate. Okay, so after that you will get some points, then you will draw this curve. So this curve actually is known as what? Auguste less than curve. Auguste less than. Okay, if you draw like this. Okay, if it is come from this side, if it comes from this side, so this is known as auguste more than. When it comes from this side, it is auguste less than. So basically, in our exercise, the sums are based on what? Auguste less than. Okay, so now these are the concept. So this structure is known as what? Auguste less than. Okay, so the step number 1 is what? You have to prepare the table, then the graph, take the proper scale, plot the graph with respect to x and y coordinate, draw the curve. Okay, then whatever the answer they will ask, then you have to find all that answer. Okay, so let's begin with the sum now. So first you will write what? Marks, then number of students will come, then after that we know that you have to write the upper class boundary, which is known as your x coordinate. Then you will write cumulative frequency less than, so we can consider this as y coordinate, and in the last column x comma y. So this x comma y actually it is not compulsory. The last column actually there is no need. Still, if you increase the column, it's okay, no problem. Then marks, it is what? 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, and then 45 to 50. So here we have 9, 12, 23, 31, 10, 8, 7. Okay, now we'll see how to find the upper class boundary. It is very simple. This part it is known as the lower class, and this part, this section, these numbers are known as what? Upper class. In simple language, the left hand side number it is known as lower limit, and your right hand side number it is known as upper limit. So here in the third column you have to consider the upper class boundary. So here the upper class boundary are what? The first one is 20, then 25, then 30, then 35, then 40, 45, and then 50. I hope you all understood this part also. Okay, how to consider the upper class boundary. Upper class boundary means what? It is the upper limit. So in the class, the left hand side number is known as what? This left hand side number known as what? Lower limit, and this right hand side numbers are known as what? Upper limit. So here you have to consider only the upper limit. Okay, now we'll see how to find the cumulative frequency. We know that how to find the cumulative frequency. First you will write 9 as it is, then goes on adding as it says that cumulative frequency. So you have to see the cumulative frequency. To find cumulative frequency you have to see the frequency part. Okay, frequency column. So first you will write 9, the 9 plus 12, 21, 21 plus 23, 44, 44 plus 31, 75, 75 plus 10, 85, 85 plus 8, 93, 93 plus 7, that is 100. So if this is 100, so we know that here the total frequency, of course it will be 100 only. Yes or no? So now we'll see the last column. In the last column, the first coordinate you will get 20, 9. Second you will get 25, 21. Third you will get 30, 44. Then after that you will get 35, 75. Then after that you will get 40, 85. Okay, then after that you will get 45, 93. Then in the last you will get 50, 100. Okay, so this is the step number 1 in which you have to prepare the table. So once again I will explain this table. So in the first column you will write the class, then frequency. In the third column you will write upper class boundary, and in the fourth column you will write cumulative frequency less than, and in the last column you will write the points x comma y. So your x is upper class boundary and your y is cumulative frequency less than. Okay, as this last column it is not compulsory. If you increase the column it's okay, no problem. Okay, so now after this we know that after the step number 1 we have to plot the graph with respect to the given points. So here we have the points now. Okay, so these are the points now. So let's see how to draw the graph. So here already I had made this line. As I told you, have to consider only the first quadrant. Now it's all depend on the scale. What scale you will consider, it's on you. You can take 1 centimeter equals to 5, 10, 15. Okay, so here I wrote on the one x-axis I took 1 centimeter equals to 5 marks on the x-axis. So your upper class boundary actually it is what? This answer you got from where? This answer we got from the class. The class actually it is what? It is marks. So that's why here I wrote 1 centimeter equals to what? Why 5? Because when you will see the difference between the numbers, clearly we can see that there is a 5 difference, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yes or no? So that's why here I took 1 centimeter equals to 5 marks. Don't write unit because the class contain marks. So here you will write 1 centimeter equals to 5 marks on the x-axis. Now we'll see on the y-axis what number we have to take, and see to it that if you consider here 1 centimeter gap on the x-axis, so on the y also you consider 1 centimeter only. Don't do like this 1 centimeter and here 2 centimeter. Okay, 1 1 2 2, the scale should be same, 1 centimeter 1 centimeter 2 2. Okay, so on the y-axis now 1 centimeter, now again it is on you, you can consider any number 5 10 15. Okay, but the scale it should be same. If you consider 1 centimeter gap, so here also you have to consider 1 centimeter gap only. Okay, remember this. So now we'll see on the one y-axis, as here clearly we can see that the numbers are what, 9 21 44 75 85 93 100. So here we'll take 1 centimeter equals to 10 10. Okay, as cumulative frequency is what, the number of student. So while writing here you will write 1 centimeter equals to 10 student on y-axis, 10 students on y-axis. Yes or no? So here it is on you, you can take 10 also, you can take 5 also. Okay, so but for this sum I will consider 1 centimeter equals to 10 student on the y-axis and 1 centimeter equals to 5 on the x-axis. Okay, so now after this, here you will write what, marks. Okay, and this side you will write what, number of, this side you will write what, number of student. Yes or no? But actually it is what, cumulative frequency less than. Okay, and here you will write marks, but actually that marks is what, upper class boundary. Okay, so you will write scale, then you will consider your first quadrant only, draw the x and y axis, plot the point. As you mentioned 1 centimeter equals to 5 marks on the x-axis, so take 1 centimeter gap and then write, goes on writing 5 units. Okay, 5 marks, first 5 then 10 15 20 it will come. And here on the y-axis I took 1 centimeter equals to 10 students, so here 10 10 will come, 10 20 30 40. Okay, now here the main point is what, you have to plot the point now. As here the first point is what, 20 comma 9, 20 on the x-axis we have to see 20, on the y-axis we have to see 9. So here 20 clearly we can see that 20 is here. Yes or no? And from 0 to 9, can I say there are 10 lines, so 9 will come where, below this 10, below this 10, below this 10. Yes or no? Means as see to that graph, actually it is not perfect, it is approx. So whatever the answer you here you will consider, you will take whatever the answer you will get, it will be approx, not perfect. Okay, so graphical actually it is approximate answer only. So here 20 we have, so 9 will come somewhere here. Okay, so this is your first point, that is 20 comma 9. Then after that we'll see second point is 25 comma 21, 25. So here on the x-axis 25. Okay, so 20 here is 20, so 21 will be up somewhere here. Okay, then after that 30 comma 44, 30 is here. Yes or no? 30 is here, 30 is here, and then 44 44, so this is 40 50, so 45 will come between this. Okay, so it will be somewhere here. Okay, then after that the next point is what, 35 comma 75, 35 comma 75, 35 comma 75, 35 comma 75, 35 is here, and 75, this is 70, so 75 will come here. Okay, then after that 40 comma 85, 40 is here, and then 85 will come where, this is 80, so 85 will come here. Okay, then after that 45 comma 93, 45 comma 93, 45 comma 93, so this is what, 90, so 3.112 point, so somewhere 45 comma 93 will come here. And the last one is what, 50 comma 100, so this is 50 comma 100 means it will come here. So in this way you have to plot the point. So your x is what? It is upper class, and y is what? It is the cumulative frequency. After plotting, okay, then you have to draw the curve. Just simply move your hand like this, just goes on joining. Okay, so now this part should come down. So where we have to take till 15, 10 or 5 or 0. Okay, it is very simple now. Suppose if you increase one more extra class from above. So what will be your class? What will be your class? It will be 10 to 15, yes or no? As clearly we can see the class, it is continuous. Okay, class, it is continuous, yes or no? And see to that the class for argue, whenever you have to draw the argue, the class, it has to be continuous. Suppose if the class, it is not continuous, you have to make the class continuous. But basically when you will see the sums from the exercise, each and every sum, when you will see, already they had given the class continuous. Okay, continuously. Suppose in case somewhere if you come across the class, it is not continuous, then you have to make the class continuous and then move forward. Okay, without making the class continuous, don't draw the graph. Okay, so but when you will see all the sums from the exercise, basically you will see the class actually it is in continuous only. Okay, now this is what we have to do. First step, the table, then after that the graph, take the proper scale, then after that plot, and then now this should come down, yes or no? Where it will come? So suppose if we increase one more extra class from above, so it will be 10 to 15. So here your upper class is what? 15. So upper class is what? 15. Okay, so the line will come down here to 15, not 10, because when you will increase one more extra class, so it will be 10 to 15. As clearly we can see the numbers are what? It is closer to 0, and it is closer to 0. So as I told, whenever it is closer to 0, there is no need to show this kring symbol. When the class, it is starting from 200, 300, 400, that time you have to show the kring symbol. Okay, so it is not compulsory that for this sum you have to show the kring symbol. Basically the concept is what? Whenever the class, it is not starting from 0, we have to show the kring symbol. Okay, basically it is the actual concept. Whenever the class, it is not starting from 0, whenever the class, it is not starting from 0, you have to show the kring symbol. But I will suggest, I will give some hint or tricks to remember for this exercise. Whenever the class, it is closer to 0, no need to draw this kring symbol. And if it's starting from 300, 200 somewhere, then you have to draw the kring symbol. So remember this point. Okay, so as now for this sum, we will not draw the kring symbol. I hope you all understood this, how to plot the point and then how to draw the argue graph. So this structure actually is known as what? Argue less than. So I guess you all understood till here. Now the final step is what? Now we have to find the answer for D6, Q1 and P65 graphically. Okay, so now exactly what we have to do here. Listen. Now we'll see how to find the answer D6, Q1 and P65 graphically. Okay, so there are 2-3 different methods in which you can find your answer. So one simplest method is what? As we know that for D6, whenever we have the class, it is in continuous. So we used to write the formula what? L plus 6n upon 10, decile means 10, minus cf into h upon f, yes or no? If you want to find q1, so we used to write L plus n upon 4 because it is quartiles, minus cf into h upon f, yes or no? Okay, for P65, L plus 65 n upon 100 minus cf into h upon f. Okay, as here we have class, frequency and the cumulative frequency. The one method is what? Okay, find the all the values n, cf, h, f, l, substitute the value, you will get d6. Then same way, I hope you all might be knowing how to find cf, n, h, f, l. Okay, basically we take what, this part separately, 6n upon 10. With the help of this, easily we can find the remaining values. I hope you all might be knowing. So this all things we had seen in the first and the second exercise. So this is the one of the method. By using the formula, by substituting the value, you can find your answer. The second method, it is quite very simple. What exactly you have to do? Take this part separately, 6n upon 10, just this part. No need to consider the whole section, whole formula. Just check this part. Okay, then after that, as we know that what is n? N is the total frequency, that is 100. Simply substitute the value in place of n, in place of n. Yes or no? In place of n. Okay, as in the question, actually in the here it is 85. Okay, it is not 65. We'll make the change here. This is your first sum of your exercise. Okay, it is 85, so you will write 85. If it is 65 also, we can find the answer, there is no doubt. Okay, but as this is the first sum of your exercise, it is 85, it is given, it is not 65 upon 100. Sorry, here 4 will come. Okay, as it is quartiles. So now 0 0 will get cancelled, so here you will get 60. So your answer will be what? 25. Your answer will be what? 85. Okay, just simply focus on this number, 60, 25 and 85. So this is the second method in which you can find, by using this method, where you can find the answer of D6Q1 P85 graphically. So as now I had explained two method. One is what? Just write down the formula, find the all the values L, CF, HF, substitute the value, you will get the answer. And this is the second method. Okay, but what will be the change in both the sum? Suppose here if you are getting 25.71 answer, so here it will be 25.23. So the difference will be in the decimal. Okay, it's okay, no problem. The difference, if it is in decimal, still okay, it's okay. But suppose here if it's 25, if you are getting 29, 22 like this, so of course the answer is wrong. If there is difference in the decimals, it's okay. Okay, so this will be the change. If you stick with this method, you will get answer different, and if you stick with this method, you will get answer differently. Okay, but here I will be explaining you all how to find the answer by using this method. Okay, so please try all the sums of your exercise by using this method only. Okay, don't write all formula then find all the values, so it will take too much time. So here simply what you have to do, consider this part, substitute the value of n, you will get this answer. After getting this answer, just you have to see this 60, where does it lies on the y axis. This 25, where does it lies on the y axis. 85, where does it lies on the y axis. That's it. Okay, so first 60 will see where does it lie. 60, it lies here, yes or no? It lies here. Okay, 25 on the y axis here, 85 here. So this is the one method. After finding the answer, just simply you have to check the 60, 25 and 85, where does it lies, plot. Then after that, you have to draw a line from here, and see to that whenever you will draw this line, it should be parallel to x-axis. It should be parallel to x-axis. Okay, so this is the method in which you can find your answer directly. Simply what you have to do, just see this value, plot. As the first one is what, 60, you will see 60 on the y-axis, plot. Then you will draw the straight line, line, then you will draw the straight line, and see that the straight line, it should be parallel to x-axis. Then after that you will draw one more line from here, one more line from here, okay, in a such a way that now this line, it will be parallel to y-axis. Okay, now you will draw one more line from here, see to that this line, it should be parallel to y-axis. First you will find your answer, you will see where does 60 lies on the y-axis, then draw the line, see the line, it should be parallel to y-axis, then you will draw one more line from here, it should be parallel to y-axis. Now here is the answer of your D6. As clearly we can see that here we have 30 and 35, so here it lies exactly between these two, so approximately I can say the answer will be 32.5. so here we are getting what, 32.5, yes or no, because this line, it lies between where, 32, 35, yes or no, it is exactly between these two lines, yes or no. So here we have 30, here we have 35, so there are small line 1 2 3 4, and then there is dark line, then 1 2 3 4, so our answer lies where, somewhere here. So that means it lies between 30 and 35, so 30 and 35 midpoint will be what, 32.5. so here we got the first answer for D6, it is what, 32.5. Here we got the answer now, means your answer, it will lies where, on the x-axis, and what is your x-axis, it contain marks, so here we got 32.5 marks. I hope you all understood this sum. Okay, so this is the method, this is the trick, this is the hint in which you can find your answer of quartiles, deciles, percentiles by using graphical. Okay, so now we'll find Q1, so we'll see 25, where does it lies, it lies here. Okay, so we'll draw the line, straight line, but it should be parallel to what, x-axis. Then from here you will draw one more line, so here you will get the answer of what, Q1, and 25, then here it is 30, so here it will be what, between these two number, approximately you have to find the answer. Okay, so here this will be 27.5, so but our answer, this line, where does it lies, it lies somewhere here, so approximately we can say the answer will be what, 26. So for this we'll say the answer is what, 26 marks. Okay, approximately you have to find the answer. I'm not saying graphical method is what, it is approx only, we cannot find the answer perfectly. Okay, never. So here we got the first answer for deciles, that is 30, 32.5, yes or no, 32.5. 32.5, the Q1 answer we got, it is 26, this is marks, here also you will write marks, yes or no. And now we'll see the last one, 80, 85, where does it lies, it lies here. Okay, so you will draw the line, straight line from here, yes or no, you will draw the straight line from here, then you will draw one more line. Okay, so here we are getting the answer for what, P85. So it is what, exactly, clearly we can see that the line, it lies exactly on 40, so answer for this will be what, 40 marks. Okay, so here you will write the final answer. So this was the rough work, so here you will write the answer. Q1 is 26 mark, D6 is 32.5 marks, and P85 is 40 marks. Okay, so here also if you want you can mention the answer 40, okay, 32.5, 26. Okay, here you can write the point like 20 comma 9, 25 comma 21, 30 comma 44, then 35 comma 75, 40 comma 85, 45 comma 93, and then last one is what, 50 comma 100. So in this way you have to present your sum and you have to find the answer graphically. So this there are two methods from which you can find your answer, one by using formula and one by using this method. So I guess this method is very simple. Just substitute the value of n, see the value, you will check this value on the y-axis, you will draw the straight line, then one more line, the straight line it will be parallel to x-axis, and this one more line you will draw bottom in a such a way that it should be parallel to y-axis. So our answer will lies where, on the x-axis. So these are the answer. So I hope you all understood this sum. So in this way you have to present your sum. Okay, so the remaining sums as from the exercise, clearly I can say that uh, out of 8 to 10 sums, that is enough to understand only one sum, because rest all the sums are similar only, there is no change in the question. The change will be what, only the class. Sometimes the class it will start from 200, sometimes it will start from 300, sometimes it will start from 0. And we know that whenever it starts from 200 300, simply you have to draw this ring symbol. Rest all the sums are very easy, it is same only. Okay, so the remaining sums please try it by yourself, and I can say that's the end of the exercise number 1.3 also, because there is no need to take some more example. There is no it is enough to understand one sum. Okay, there is no need to take some extra sums also, and please try the remaining sums of the exercise number 1.3 by yourself. So that's the end of the exercise number 1.3 also. Okay, so till then, goodbye, see you in next lecture.